Hey everybody, Craig Caudill, Director of Nature Reliance School. I've got a couple of small hammers that I've made from dogwood, but what I thought I'd do is make a bigger hammer because I'm in need of it, and I'm going to make it this time out of sourwood. I'm going to show you in detail how I've chosen this particular tree to do that. First off, sourwood is a very dense wood, and so that's one of the reasons I'm going to use it. But here's some identifying features of sourwood. So sourwood really loves to get to the sun. So it's one of those that even in the middle of an understory, it's going to reach out and find some sunlight through the canopy. So it'll be twisted and turned more often than other trees that you might see out here. It also, in this particular case, has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different trees here that are sourwood. So me removing one is not going to be a problem. Next, the thing that I wanted to point out is the leaf structure. Take a look at this leaf structure. It's an alternating leaf structure. They're smooth on the top, relatively smooth on the bottom. And one of the unique features of sourwood is that they have a very sour taste if you crush them up and chew them. And you'll definitely taste why they're called sourwood. So let's get to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my silky, I got this big katana boy, and I'm going to cut off the section so the largest portion of the tree falls and gets out of my way. I want this section right here, and I'll use the rest of this tree so it doesn't go to waste for classes and making hammers for other folks. So 2 or 3 things here that let's point out that I'm going to utilize. I like to use and maximize the resources. So I cut this purposely with a good 8 to 10 inches of a stump. I can now use this as a stump anvil whenever I need it because it's near the cabin. And I'm doing that for a couple reasons. So I can use it as a stump anvil, but number 2, I want to make sure if there's any rot near the base of the tree that it's not in the hammer that I'm going to utilize. So we got solid surface, and that's going to help make this a great hammer. Hey, I've got a couple of tools that I'm going to be utilizing. First off, this is a dogwood hammer that I made some time ago, very field expedient. I made it one day. And the better solution for this is to use a small, hatchet axe, and I've got some good ones, but I'm going to do everything I can to make this happen with just LT Wright knives this time. I'm going to use the overland machete to do some of this big work, and then I'm going to move on down to some more blades to finish it up. All right, so all I'm doing first is just scoring it so I can have an even line all the way around. And then I'm going to dig into it with my hammer and the machete. I've just got to score it a little bit, so I'm just going to see what it's like to cut a couple of pieces off the edge here. Yeah, it's going to go. All right, so it's going to take forever. I don't want to take forever, so I'm going to use my saw to girdle my tree here. Make it a little bit faster, that's for sure. This is another reduction method. You'll see I've made what are called stop cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you go in and you make cuts, and then you remove that stuff, and it comes off a lot easier without splitting out your hammerhead. Hey, so we've been working on it for about an hour. We're getting close. I think you can start to see what it is I'm going to do. All I'm doing now is reducing this handle down to the point where it's comfortable for me to grab. And so my arm's getting tired, and I know what my limits are, and so I'm going to take a break from it. So I'm going to let my arm rest, and that way I don't take the opportunity to actually get tired, make a slip, and then cut myself. So we're going to avoid that and come back tomorrow and finish her up. Hey, it's been a day, so we took a break, actually got some other work done, and now we're coming back to this, and we'll see what we can do with it. Hey, so I'm going to cut off. I didn't want this entirely this long, so I usually get it out to about the length of my outstretched arm from elbow to fingertip. So I just like using a simple rope vise, tighten it up. So using the rope vise just gives me an extra hand to hold it. And you can make a rope vise happen just about anywhere. This is one of the things I love about the Chamonix, the knife I designed. You can use it as a draw knife. Let me show you an added bonus to having a long knife like this. I'll take one of these pieces that I cut off, and now I've got an even better draw knife. Now it's a game of just getting some of these slight imperfections and making sure it fits my hand. One of the things I like to do is have it flared at the end so it's easier to hang on to. It doesn't slip out of my hand. Sometimes I flare these all the way out to the end of the hammer too, but I wanted some real dedicated physics on this one, so that's why I built it like this. Hey, so I'm pretty much done. One of the last things I'm going to do here is I like to use the back of my blade to just get that fine. You'll notice I'm rotating this as I do this. Just rounding it up, because that portion right there is where I'm going to be hanging on to the hammer most of the time. And this just rounds it up and makes it just a tad bit smoother in my grip so I don't get any hot spots. So there, nice little hammer. So yeah, this makes a fun little project, these bushcraft hammers or woodworking hammers. Eventually the bark will come off, that's not a big deal. I leave it on because I like the character look of it. Most of the work I've done here, I've done with the Wright Overland Machete. It's a fantastic little tool. Finished up, as you noticed, a lot of the finish work with my designed by me, also built by Wright knives, Chamonix, inspired by the frontiersmen who used very similar blades back in the day in very similar ways than the way I just used it. So yeah, nice little project. Sourwood is a good wood. Dogwood is an even better wood. Live oak, these are all woods that are pretty dense and hard and will last as long as you take care of your tools, as long as you want them to. And if they break, go make another. Come on, join in. Let's learn together.